Tonight we embark on a journey through memory, exploring approximately 100 fascinating facts that reveal the intricate mechanisms, profound capabilities and subtle mysteries within our minds. There is no pressure to remember or retain these details. Instead, let them unfold naturally, inviting your mind to settle into a state of peaceful curiosity. This exploration is designed to be a soothing experience, a gentle current of knowledge flowing without demanding effort or attention. We will observe the intricate dance of neural pathways, the subtle adaptations that allow us to learn and recall, and the quiet wisdom embedded in how our brains construct our past. Each fact is a small window into the vast and interconnected tapestry of human experience presented in a calm and meditative tone, allowing your thoughts to drift and find stillness. Allow the gentle rhythm of these discoveries to guide you towards a state of relaxation, inviting a sense of wonder and peace as you prepare for rest. If you're finding peace in this journey, a like and subscribe helps us continue creating these restful explorations. And we're always curious. Share in the comments what city and time zone you're watching from. There's something special about knowing this experience is reaching people all over the world as they prepare for rest. We begin our exploration by gently laying the groundwork, observing the fundamental nature of memory itself. It is a vast and intricate landscape within us, shaping every perception and interaction. As we delve into its initial processes, we invite a quiet understanding of how our experiences begin to take root within the mind. What is memory? Memory in its essence is not a singular monolithic entity, but rather a complex collection of systems and processes distributed across various regions of the brain. Research shows that it encompasses multiple distinct types, each serving different functions and operating through unique neural pathways. Scientists have observed that our ability to learn, adapt, and navigate the world relies heavily on these intricate memory systems, allowing us to store and retrieve information, skills, and experiences. Current understanding suggests that memory is fundamental to our sense of self, forming the continuous narrative that defines who we are. It is the very fabric of our personal history, enabling us to connect past events with present actions and future expectations. Without memory, each moment would exist in isolation, devoid of context or personal meaning, highlighting its irreplaceable role in human consciousness. Encoding, the first step. The journey of a memory begins with encoding, the crucial process by which incoming sensory information is transformed into a format that the brain can store and retrieve. Studies indicate that this transformation involves a complex interplay of chemical and electrical signals, converting external stimuli into neural codes. For effective encoding to occur, attention is paramount. Information that is not actively attended to is less likely to be successfully encoded. Initially, sensory input is held briefly in sensory memory, a fleeting buffer that captures raw sensations before they fade or are passed on for further processing. Research also suggests that the depth of processing during encoding significantly impacts retention. With semantic encoding, processing information based on its meaning, leading to much stronger and more durable memories compared to superficial processing, such as simply repeating words. This initial phase sets the stage for how well a memory will be preserved and later accessed. Storage. Holding onto information. Once encoded, information must be stored. Yet memory storage is not akin to files being saved on a computer's hard drive. Instead, current understanding suggests that memories are distributed across vast networks of neurons, rather than being localized in a single brain region. The capacity for storage relies heavily on synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to strengthen or weaken the connections between neurons over time. Long-term potentiation, LTP, a persistent strengthening of synapses based on recent activity, is considered a primary cellular mechanism underlying memory storage, allowing for more efficient signal transmission between neurons. Studies have shown that this strengthening process is vital for the consolidation of memories, transforming fragile, newly formed traces into more stable, long-lasting representations. This process of consolidation can take hours, days, or even longer, gradually stabilizing memories and integrating them into existing knowledge networks. Retrieval, accessing the past. Retrieval is the final yet equally complex stage of memory, involving the process of accessing stored information from our mental archives. It is a fascinating and often reconstructive act, meaning that when we recall a memory, we are not simply replaying a perfect recording, but rather piecing together fragments of information influenced by our current state and existing knowledge. Scientists have observed that various cues can significantly aid retrieval, acting as mental triggers that help us locate the desired information. For instance, the context in which a memory was encoded, such as a specific location or emotional state, can serve as a powerful retrieval cue, making it easier to recall the associated information when that context is revisited. Furthermore, research consistently demonstrates that retrieval practice, the act of actively trying to remember information, is one of the most effective ways to strengthen memories, solidifying their presence within our neural networks and making them more accessible for future recall. The role of the hippocampus. Nestled deep within the temporal lobe, the hippocampus plays a pivotal role in the formation of new long-term memories. While it does not store these memories permanently, research unequivocally shows its critical function in converting short-term or working memories into durable long-term traces. Studies involving patients with hippocampal damage, such as the famous case of HM, clearly demonstrate that without a functioning hippocampus, individuals lose the ability to form new declarative memories of facts and events. Scientists understand that the hippocampus acts as a kind of temporary binding site, integrating various components of an experience, sensory details, emotions, spatial information, from different brain regions into a coherent memory trace. Over time, through a process known as systems consolidation, these memories become less dependent on the hippocampus and are thought to be transferred to and stored in the neocortex, allowing the hippocampus to then facilitate the formation of new memories. This intricate process underscores its fundamental importance in our continuous learning and memory formation. Short-term versus long-term memory. Memory systems are broadly categorized into short-term and long-term memory, each with distinct characteristics and capacities. Short-term memory, often referred to as working memory, is a temporary storage system with a limited capacity, typically holding about 7 ± 2 pieces of information for a brief period, usually around 15 to 30 seconds, unless actively rehearsed. This system is crucial for immediate tasks, allowing us to hold information in mind for problem-solving or comprehension. In contrast, long-term memory has a virtually limitless capacity and can store information for extended periods, from minutes to an entire lifetime. Research indicates that the transition from short-term to long-term memory involves significant neural changes, including the strengthening of synaptic connections and structural alterations within neurons. While short-term memory acts as a mental workspace, long-term memory serves as the vast archive of our accumulated knowledge, skills, and personal history, forming the enduring foundation of our cognitive existence. As the day gently recedes and your thoughts begin to drift, we invite you to journey further into the intricate landscape of your mind. In our previous moments together, we touched upon the vast distinction between short-term and long-term memory, recognizing the latter as a virtually limitless archive for enduring knowledge and experiences. Now, let us explore the profound depths of this long-term reservoir, for it is not a singular, undifferentiated pool, but a complex, beautifully organized collection of systems, each playing a unique role in shaping who you are and what you know. We categorize long-term memory into two primary forms: declarative or explicit memory and non-declarative or implicit memory. Imagine them as two grand wings of an extensive library within your mind, each housing different kinds of stories and information accessed in distinct ways. Let us first turn our attention to the wing of declarative memory. This is the memory for facts and events, for all that can be consciously recalled and articulated. It is the knowing what, the information you can intentionally bring to mind and share. When you remember the name of a distant relative, or the capital city of a country you've never visited, or the details of a cherished holiday, you're engaging your declarative memory. Research shows that the hippocampus, which we discussed earlier, as pivotal for memory formation, is particularly crucial for the initial encoding and consolidation of these explicit memories. Within this declarative wing, we find two distinct yet often intertwined chambers: episodic memory and semantic memory. Consider first, episodic memory, the vibrant gallery of your personal past. This is the memory for specific events and experiences, complete with their unique context, the who, what, when, and where. It is your autobiographical memory, allowing you to mentally re-experience moments from your life. When you recall the laughter shared at a family gathering last summer, or the smell of rain on a particular afternoon, or the precise words of a significant conversation, you're engaging your episodic memory. Studies involving patients with hippocampal damage have clearly demonstrated how damage to this area severely impairs the ability to form new episodic memories, trapping individuals in a perpetual present, unable to record new personal experiences. Episodic memories are often rich in sensory detail and emotion, allowing for a unique sense of mental time travel. We invite you to gently reflect on a cherished memory now. Notice how your mind can reconstruct not just the facts, but perhaps the sights, sounds, and feelings of that moment. This capacity to relive the past is a hallmark of episodic memory. While initially reliant on the hippocampus for its formation, over time, these memories are believed to become more distributed across the neocortex, allowing them to endure, though perhaps becoming less vivid and more generalized with repeated retrieval and reconstruction. Scientists have observed that episodic memory develops later in childhood, as the brain matures, and it is also particularly susceptible to forgetting and reconstruction, meaning our memories of past events are not always perfect replicas, but rather dynamic, re-edited narratives. Next, we move to the chamber of semantic memory, the vast encyclopedia of general knowledge and conceptual understanding. This is the memory for facts, concepts, and language itself, independent of personal experience. It is the knowing that the accumulated store of information about the world. When you know that Paris is the capital of France, that a dog is a mammal, or the meaning of the word serendipity, you are drawing upon your semantic memory. Unlike episodic memories, semantic memories are typically devoid of personal context. You might not remember when or where you learnt that Paris is the capital of France, only the fact itself. Current understanding suggests that while semantic memories often originate from episodic experiences, for instance, learning a new fact in a particular classroom setting, they gradually become decoupled from that original context. They transform into abstract knowledge, stored across vast networks of neurons in the neocortex, particularly in the temporal and frontal lobes, becoming less dependent on the hippocampus once consolidated. Research shows that individuals with severe episodic memory deficits can often retain their semantic knowledge, highlighting the distinct neural pathways and storage mechanisms for these two forms of declarative memory. Semantic memory forms the very foundation of our understanding of the world, our vocabulary, and our ability to reason and communicate effectively. It is the steady, reliable current of shared knowledge that underpins our collective understanding. Now, let us turn our gaze to the second grand wing of your mind's library, non-declarative memory, also known as implicit memory. This is the memory of knowing how, the subtle, unconscious influences of past experience on present behavior. Unlike declarative memory, which we consciously access, non-declarative memory operates beneath the surface of conscious awareness. You demonstrate these memories through your actions and responses rather than by explicitly stating them. It is the quiet, automatic wisdom held within your body and your subconscious mind, shaping your skills, habits, and automatic reactions without you needing to think about them. Within this fascinating implicit wing, we encounter several remarkable forms. First, there is procedural memory, the elegant dance of learned skills and habits. This is the memory for how to perform actions, often motor skills, that are acquired through repetition and practice. When you ride a bicycle, type on a keyboard, play a musical instrument, or tie your shoelaces, you are engaging your procedural memory. These are skills that once learned often become second nature, executed with little to no conscious effort. Try to explain in precise detail every single muscle movement and balance adjustment involved in riding a bike. You will find it remarkably difficult to verbalize. This is because procedural memory resides in different brain regions than declarative memory, primarily involving the basal ganglia, cerebellum, and motor cortex. Studies involving patients with amnesia who struggle to form new declarative memories have consistently shown their preserved ability to learn new skills, such as tracing a star while looking in a mirror, demonstrating the independence and robustness of procedural memory. It is the silent mastery that allows us to navigate our world with grace and efficiency. Next, we encounter sound priming, the subtle whispers of prior experience gently influencing your perceptions and thoughts. Priming refers to the phenomenon where exposure to one stimulus influences your response to a subsequent stimulus, often without your conscious awareness. For instance, if you recently saw the word doctor, you might recognize the word nurse more quickly than if you hadn't seen doctor. Or if you hear the word cat and are then asked to complete the letters CT, you're more likely to think of cat rather than cut. This effect is entirely automatic and unconscious, yet it subtly shapes how you process information and react to your environment. Research indicates that priming effects can occur in various cortical areas, reflecting the distributed nature of this implicit influence. It is a quiet testament to how our past encounters continuously yet imperceptibly prepare us for the present. Finally, let us consider classical conditioning, the powerful mechanism of learned associations. This is a type of learning where an organism learns to associate two stimuli, such that one stimulus comes to elicit a response previously elicited by the other. The most famous example, of course, comes from the pioneering work of Ivan Pavlov, who observed dogs salivating at the sound of a bell after it had been repeatedly paired with the presentation of food. In humans, classical conditioning underlies many of our automatic involuntary responses, from flinching at a specific sound after a painful experience, to feeling a surge of emotion when encountering a particular scent associated with a past event. Studies have shown that the amygdala is crucial for emotional classical conditioning, while the cerebellum plays a key role in motor conditioning. This form of implicit memory reveals how our nervous system forms powerful, often unconscious connections that shape our reflexes and emotional reactions to the world around us. As your breath deepens and your body softens, we hope you are finding a tranquil sense of wonder in this exploration. You see, memory is not a singular monolithic entity. It is a magnificent symphony of interconnected processes, a vast and intricate network of systems working in concert. Your declarative memory allows you to recount your life story and understand the world's facts, while your non-declarative memory guides your actions, shapes your habits, and subtly influences your perceptions without your conscious command. Together, these systems create the rich, multifaceted tapestry of your consciousness and your capabilities. There is no need to actively retain every detail of these distinctions. Simply allow the gentle current of knowledge to wash over you, recognizing the profound elegance of your own mind. Let these insights serve as a soft lullaby, inviting your thoughts to drift and find stillness. As we continue our journey, we will uncover even more fascinating layers of this incredible human capacity. For now, simply rest and know that your mind, even in its quietude, holds an astonishing universe of experience. As we gently journey deeper into the intricate landscape of memory, you have come to understand its foundational processes, encoding, storage, and retrieval, and the magnificent symphony of systems that orchestrate its many forms, from the personal narratives of episodic memory to the unconscious mastery of procedural skills. Yet this symphony, while powerful and profound, is not a flawless recording. It is a living, breathing tapestry, woven anew with each passing moment, each recall. Tonight, as the day gently recedes and your thoughts begin to drift, we invite you to explore an even more nuanced facet of this incredible human capacity, the dynamic, reconstructive, and sometimes beautifully fallible nature of memory itself. We will uncover how our memories are not mere carbon copies of the past, but rather active constructions shaped by our present understanding, our emotions, and even the subtle suggestions from the world around us. This exploration, like all others in our shared journey, is not about retention, but about gentle understanding, allowing your mind to wander and find stillness amidst its own wonders. Settle deeper into your space of calm contemplation, allowing any lingering tensions to soften and release. Let your breath deepen, a quiet rhythm accompanying the gentle current of knowledge that flows through you. We begin now with the understanding that memory is not a perfect mirror reflecting the past, but rather an artist, continually reinterpreting and repainting the canvas of our experiences. Fact 26. Memory is a reconstructive process, not a perfect recording. One of the most profound insights into how memory truly functions is the realization that it's not like a video recorder, faithfully capturing and replaying events exactly as they occurred. Instead, research shows that memory is a highly reconstructive process. Each time we retrieve a memory, we are not simply pulling a pre-existing file from a mental archive. Rather, we are actively rebuilding that memory, piecing together fragments of information influenced by our current knowledge, beliefs, expectations, and even the context in which we are recalling. Think of it like telling a favorite story. Each time you recount it, while the core plot remains, subtle details might shift, emphasis might change, or new insights might colour the narrative. Your brain, in essence, is doing the same thing. It takes the gist of the experience, the emotional resonance, and the most salient details, and then fills in the gaps, often unconsciously, to create a coherent narrative. This dynamic nature means that every act of remembering is also an act of recreation. Studies involving patients recalling past events clearly demonstrate how their current emotional state or their understanding of later outcomes can subtly, yet significantly, alter their memory of the original experience. This constant subtle revision allows our memories to remain flexible, adapting to new information and helping us make sense of our ever-evolving world. Fact 27. False memories can be planted and feel just as real. Given memory's reconstructive nature, it becomes understandable that our minds are also susceptible to forming false memories, recollections of events that never actually happened, or significant distortions of real occurrences. The pioneering work of cognitive psychologist Elizabeth Loftus and her colleagues has profoundly illuminated this phenomenon, showing just how easily external suggestion can influence our internal narratives. In classic studies, participants were shown footage of car accidents and then asked questions about what they saw. When the wording of the questions subtly changed, for example, asking how fast the cars were going when they smashed into each other versus contacted each other, participants would later remember seeing broken glass or higher speeds, even if those details were not present in the original footage. This misinformation effect demonstrates how post-event information can integrate seamlessly into a memory, altering it without our conscious awareness. Beyond minor details, research has even shown that entire false memories of significant events, such as being lost in a shopping mall as a child or having a specific adverse experience, can be successfully implanted in individuals. These fabricated memories can feel incredibly vivid and real, complete with emotional details and sensory experiences, indistinguishing them from genuine recollections for the person experiencing them. This remarkable malleability underscores the active, interpretive role of our brains in shaping our personal histories. It is a quiet reminder of how interconnected our inner world is with the subtle influences of our external environment, even as we drift towards sleep. Fact 28. Eyewitness testimony, while compelling, can be unreliable. The susceptibility of memory to reconstruction and suggestion has profound implications, particularly for legal systems that often rely heavily on eyewitness testimony. While an eyewitness account can be incredibly compelling and persuasive, current understanding suggests that it is far from infallible. The very processes that allow us to adapt and learn, the reconstructive nature of memory, the influence of misinformation, and the effects of stress, can also lead to inaccuracies in recall. Studies have repeatedly shown that factors such as stress during an event, the presence of a weapon which can narrow focus, known as weapon focus, the time elapsed since the event, and even leading questions from investigators can significantly impair the accuracy of an eyewitness's memory. A person's confidence in their memory, research indicates, often bears little relation to its actual accuracy, meaning a highly confident witness may still be mistaken. This fact is not meant to diminish the sincerity of those who recount their experiences, but rather to highlight the intricate and sometimes fragile mechanisms of human memory itself. It reminds us that our subjective experience, while powerful, is filtered through the complex machinery of the mind, a machinery that prioritizes coherence and meaning over absolute objective fidelity. Fact 29. Emotions act as powerful architects and editors of memory. Beyond external influences, Our internal emotional landscape plays an extraordinarily potent role in how memories are formed, stored, and retrieved. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped region deep within the limbic system, is a key player in processing emotions, especially fear, and it forms strong connections with the hippocampus, the brain's memory-forming center. This intimate relationship means that emotionally charged events are often encoded with greater intensity and vividness. When we experience a strong emotion, whether joy, fear, surprise, or sadness, our bodies release stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones in moderation can actually enhance memory consolidation, essentially signaling to the brain that this event is important and should be remembered. This is why we often have clearer, more detailed recollections of significant emotional milestones, a wedding day, a graduation, a moment of profound shock or happiness. The emotional tagging acts like a mental highlighter, making those memories stand out against the backdrop of everyday experiences. However, the influence of emotion is a double-edged sword. While it can enhance vividness, extreme stress or trauma can sometimes impair the precise encoding of details, leading to fragmented or distorted memories. The brain's priority shifts from detailed recording to survival, and the intensity of the emotional experience can sometimes overwhelm the cognitive processes necessary for accurate memory formation. We are reminded that our inner feelings are not just passive reactions, but active forces shaping the very fabric of our remembered past. Fact 30. Flashbulb memories are vivid but not always accurate. A particularly striking example of emotion's influence on memory is the phenomenon of flashbulb memories. These are exceptionally vivid, detailed, and seemingly indelible memories of the circumstances surrounding learning about a major, emotionally significant public event. Think of where you were, what you were doing, and who you were with when you first heard about a momentous historical event, like the September 11th attacks, the assassination of President Kennedy, or a significant natural disaster. People often feel as though they can recall these moments with almost photographic precision, as if a mental flashbulb went off, capturing every detail. Studies on flashbulb memories, however, reveal a fascinating paradox. While people consistently report extremely high confidence in the accuracy of these memories and they remain very vivid over long periods, research shows that they are not immune to the reconstructive nature of memory. Over time, even these emotionally potent memories can change, become distorted, or incorporate misinformation, much like ordinary memories. While the feeling of remembering them vividly persists, the factual details can subtly shift. The initial emotional shock and subsequent retelling of the event contribute to their perceived accuracy and resilience, but the underlying neural processes are still subject to the same human fallibilities. It's a testament to how deeply our subjective experience colours our perception of reality, even in the face of what feels like undeniable truth. Fact 31. Forgetting is an active and adaptive process. In our exploration of memory, we often focus on what we remember, but forgetting is just as crucial and fascinating a process. It is not merely a failure of the system, but an active, adaptive mechanism that plays a vital role in the efficient functioning of our minds. Imagine if you remembered every single detail of every single moment of your life, every stray thought, every insignificant observation, every fleeting sensation. Your mind would be overwhelmed, cluttered with a deluge of irrelevant information, making it incredibly difficult to focus on what truly matters. Forgetting, therefore, is a form of mental pruning. It allows us to discard outdated, trivial, or redundant information, making space for new learning and more important memories. Theories of forgetting include Decay. Theory. Memories simply fade over time if not actively used or rehearsed, much like a path in a forest slowly disappears if no one walks on it. Interference theory. New memories, retroactive interference, or old memories, proactive interference, can block or distort the retrieval of other memories. Retrieval failure. The information is still in your long-term memory, but you lack the right cues to access it, like knowing a book is on a shelf but not remembering its title or author. A motivated forgetting. Sometimes we consciously or unconsciously suppress painful or unwanted memories, though the exact mechanisms are still being explored. Studies indicate that forgetting allows our brains to prioritize information, enhance creativity by loosening rigid associations, and even contribute to emotional well-being by allowing us to move past negative experiences. It is a testament to the brain's sophisticated ability to manage its vast archives, ensuring that what remains is most relevant and useful. As you prepare for rest, consider that the day's insignificant details are already gently fading, making way for the clarity of tomorrow. Fact 32. Sleep is a crucial architect of memory consolidation. As you drift closer to the threshold of sleep, it is fitting to consider one of its most profound contributions to our memory system, the process of memory consolidation. We have spoken of encoding, storage, and retrieval, but it is during sleep that the fragile, newly formed memories of your waking hours are transformed into stable, long-lasting ones. Sleep is not merely a period of rest for the body. It is an active, vital workshop for the mind, where the day's experiences are reviewed, strengthened, and integrated into your existing knowledge networks. Research consistently shows that both slow-wave sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, the stage associated with vivid dreaming, play distinct yet complementary roles in this nocturnal architectural process. During slow-wave sleep, the hippocampus, which temporarily holds new declarative memories, appears to replay the day's events to the neocortex, the brain's long-term storage site. This replay strengthens the neural connections, essentially cementing the memories into the cortical networks. It's as if the hippocampus is teaching the neocortex what it learned during the day, ensuring that these lessons are not lost. Following this, REM sleep seems to further process and integrate these memories, particularly those with emotional components, and is thought to be crucial for procedural memories and creative problem-solving. Studies involving individuals learning new tasks or information and then being deprived of sleep clearly demonstrate impaired retention compared to those who received adequate rest. Your brain, while you sleep, is diligently working to organize, prioritize, and solidify your experiences, making sense of the world you navigated that day. It is a profound, silent process, ensuring that the ephemeral moments of consciousness become enduring threads in the tapestry of your life. As you allow your consciousness to soften, know that your mind is exquisitely designed, not for perfect recall, but for adaptive understanding. It processes, filters, consolidates, and even creatively reconstructs your reality, all while you rest. Let the wonder of these intricate mechanisms guide you deeper into a state of profound relaxation. The journey through the fascinating layers of memory continues, even as you surrender to the quiet embrace of sleep. As the gentle current of knowledge carried us through the intricate landscapes of sleep and memory consolidation, we now turn our gaze to other fascinating currents that shape our mental archives. The mind, in its exquisite design, offers pathways not just for storing but for enriching and refining the memories we hold. Fact 33. Elaboration deepens the roots of memory. We discover that when you truly engage with new information, Connecting it to what you already know, you are actively elaborating. This process is not merely about repetition. It is about weaving new threads into the existing tapestry of your understanding. Research consistently shows that memories formed through elaboration are far more robust and accessible. Instead of simply absorbing a fact, you might ask yourself, how does this relate to my own experiences? Or, what examples can I think of that illustrate this concept? Each connection you forge, each mental link you create, strengthens the neural pathways associated with that memory. It's like planting a sapling and nurturing its roots, allowing them to spread wide and deep within the fertile ground of your mind. This rich network of associations provides multiple routes for retrieval, making it easier to call the memory forth when needed. So as your thoughts drift now, consider how the ideas presented tonight might subtly intertwine with your own experiences, allowing them to settle gently into a more connected, enduring space within you. Fact 34. Context serves as a silent retrieval cue. Imagine returning to a familiar place after many years, and suddenly memories flood back, not just of the place itself, but of conversations, feelings, and events that occurred there. This phenomenon is known as context-dependent memory. Studies have repeatedly demonstrated that our ability to recall information is significantly enhanced when the environment during retrieval matches the environment during encoding. Whether it's the specific room where you studied for an exam, the scent of a particular flower, or the background music playing, these external cues become subtly associated with the encoded memory. When you re-encounter these cues, they act as silent triggers, gently nudging your mind toward the stored information. Your brain, in its efficient wisdom, uses these environmental details as part of the memory itself, creating a richer, more textured record. So as you rest, perhaps the quietude of your surroundings is itself a gentle cue, inviting your mind to recall the tranquility of this moment. Fact 35. Your internal state can also unlock memories. Beyond external environments, your internal physiological and emotional state can also serve as a powerful retrieval cue, a phenomenon we call state-dependent memory. If you learned something while feeling particularly calm and relaxed, you might find it easier to recall that information when you are in a similar calm state. Conversely, if you encoded a memory during a period of stress or anxiety, that memory might be more readily accessed when you are experiencing similar heightened emotions. This doesn't mean you need to recreate an exact emotional state to remember. Rather, it highlights the intricate connection between our internal world and our memory systems. The neurochemical balance within your brain, the subtle shifts in mood or arousal, all contribute to the unique signature of an encoded memory. Studies involving patients under various pharmacological states, for instance, clearly demonstrate how memory recall can be enhanced when the pharmacological state at retrieval matches that at encoding. It reminds us that memory is not just about facts, but about the holistic experience of being. Fact 36. Retrieval practice strengthens the memory trace itself. While it might seem counterintuitive, the very act of trying to retrieve a memory, even if you struggle initially, actually strengthens that memory. This is known as the testing effect or retrieval practice. When you actively pull information from your mental archives, you're not just demonstrating what you know, you're actively reinforcing and reconsolidating the memory. Each successful retrieval effort deepens the neural pathways, making future retrieval easier and faster. Think of it as gently exercising a muscle. The more you engage it, the stronger it becomes. Studies have shown that self-testing, even without feedback, leads to better long-term retention than simply rereading material. This is because retrieval is an active, effortful process that requires your brain to reconstruct the memory, making it more resilient. So as you consider these facts, know that even the quiet contemplation of them is an act of gentle engagement, subtly reinforcing their presence within your mind. Fact 37. Spaced repetition optimizes long-term retention. Building upon the power of retrieval practice, we find that the timing of our review also plays a crucial role in the longevity of memories. Spaced repetition involves reviewing information at increasing intervals over time, rather than cramming it all into one session. Initially, you might review a new fact after a day, then after 3 days, then a week, and so on. This method leverages the brain's natural forgetting curve. By attempting to recall information just as you're about to forget it, you challenge your memory system in a way that significantly enhances consolidation. This active effort to retrieve, combined with the spaced intervals, signals to your brain that this information is important and should be retained long-term. Research involving various learning paradigms consistently demonstrates the superior effectiveness of spaced repetition over massed practice. It's a gentle, patient approach to memory, allowing information to truly settle and integrate into your neural networks over time, like the steady rhythmic breathing that guides you towards sleep. Fact 38. Focused attention is the gateway to memory formation. We revisit a foundational truth. Without attention, memory cannot begin to form. Your brain is constantly bombarded with sensory information, but only a fraction of it captures your attention. It is this focused attention that acts as the initial filter, allowing sensory input to be encoded into memory. If your attention is divided or absent, the information simply fades away, never truly entering the memory system. This is why you might not remember what you ate for breakfast last Tuesday, not because your memory is faulty, but because you likely weren't paying specific attention to the details of that meal. The neural mechanisms underlying attention, involving regions like the prefrontal cortex, are crucial for directing cognitive resources to relevant stimuli. Studies have shown that even subtle distractions during an encoding task can significantly impair subsequent recall. So as you listen to these words, the gentle focus you offer is itself a quiet act of memory formation, allowing these facts to softly imprint upon your mind. Fact 39. The dual impact of stress on memory. The intricate dance between our emotions and memory is profoundly influenced by stress. Acute stress, in short bursts, can sometimes enhance memory for the event itself, particularly its emotional core. This is due to the release of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which, at optimal levels, can boost the activity of the amygdala and hippocampus, leading to vivid, emotionally charged memories. However, chronic or extreme stress tells a different story. Prolonged exposure to high levels of cortisol can actually impair memory formation and retrieval, particularly for declarative memories. Studies involving patients experiencing chronic stress have shown reduced hippocampal volume and impaired performance on memory tasks. This suggests that while a moderate level of arousal can sharpen our focus, an overwhelming flood of stress hormones can disrupt the delicate processes of encoding and consolidation. It's a reminder of the brain's sensitivity, its need for balance, and the profound impact of our emotional well-being on our cognitive functions. Fact 40. Hyperthymesia, the gift and burden of unforgettable memory. While we often lament our forgetfulness, imagine a life where you could remember almost every single day of your existence with extraordinary detail. This rare condition is known as hyperthymesia, or highly superior autobiographical memory, HSAM. Individuals with hyperthymesia can recall specific details of their personal past, what they did, what they ate, who they spoke to on any given date, often reaching back decades. Brain imaging studies of these individuals have revealed structural differences in certain brain regions, including the temporal lobe and the caudate nucleus, which are involved in memory and habit formation. However, this seemingly extraordinary gift is not without its challenges. Those with hyperthymesia often describe their memories as an overwhelming, constant stream of information, making it difficult to focus on the present or to let go of past hurts. It highlights the adaptive nature of forgetting as discussed previously, reminding us that a certain degree of mental pruning is essential for our well-being and our ability to navigate the present moment effectively. It underscores the profound wisdom in our brain's design, which, for most of us, selectively retains and gently releases, allowing for a peaceful flow of thought as you prepare for slumber. As your mind continues its journey through these quiet reflections, we invite you to simply absorb, to let these ideas settle without effort. The intricate ballet of memory continues, even as your awareness gently recedes into the embrace of sleep. As the day gently recedes and the quiet of the evening deepens around you, we invite you once more to settle into this space of calm contemplation. Let your thoughts drift, unburdened by the need to grasp or retain, simply allowing the gentle current of knowledge to carry you further into the intricate landscape within us, the world of memory. We have journeyed through its foundations, its explicit and implicit forms, its dynamic nature, and the many ways we can influence its pathways. Now, let us delve deeper into the very architecture that supports this magnificent system, exploring how the brain itself orchestrates the symphony of recollection, the brain's orchestration of memory. Fact 41. Memory is a distributed network, not a single vault. We have previously touched upon memory not being a singular monolithic entity, but rather a complex system. Today we wish to emphasize that this complexity extends to its physical location within the brain. Research shows that while certain regions, like the hippocampus, are crucial for the initial formation of new declarative memories, the actual long-term storage of these memories is extensively distributed across vast networks of neurons throughout the cerebral cortex. Imagine a grand library where the card catalogue is in one wing, but the books themselves are shelved across countless rooms, each topic in its specialized section. When you recall a memory, different elements, the visual details, the sounds, the emotions, the semantic facts, are reactivated in the very cortical areas that originally processed them. Studies involving patients with specific brain lesions clearly demonstrate that damage to one area might impair a particular aspect of memory, e.g., facial recognition, while leaving others, e.g., language comprehension, perfectly intact, underscoring this distributed nature. It is this intricate, widespread networking that makes memory both robust and resilient, yet also wonderfully complex and sometimes elusive. Fact 42. The prefrontal cortex is your brain's active workbench for working memory. Beyond the long-term archives, there exists a dynamic temporary space where your mind actively manipulates information in the present moment. This is known as working memory, and it is profoundly reliant on the prefrontal cortex, the sophisticated region at the very front of your brain. Unlike short-term memory, which merely holds information briefly, working memory allows you to actively use, combine, and reorganize information. Think of it as your brain's mental workbench. When you are following a recipe, remembering a phone number long enough to dial it, or solving a complex problem in your head, your prefrontal cortex is actively engaged. It coordinates the various pieces of information, bringing them together for immediate processing and decision-making. Studies using functional MRI scans reveal heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex during tasks requiring mental manipulation, highlighting its role in executive functions, attention, and the temporary storage of information needed for ongoing cognitive tasks. This remarkable region allows us to hold and work with our thoughts, shaping our immediate understanding of the world. Fact 43. The cerebellum is the quiet architect of your procedural memory's precision. While the hippocampus guides our conscious recollections and the basal ganglia oversee our habits, another crucial brain structure, the cerebellum, plays an indispensable role in the smooth execution of learned skills and motor memories. Tucked beneath the cerebral hemispheres, the cerebellum is a master of coordination, balance, and the precise timing of movements. It is the quiet architect behind your ability to ride a bicycle, play a musical instrument, or even walk without consciously thinking about each step. Studies involving patients with cerebellar damage have shown specific impairments in motor learning and coordination, even when declarative memory remains intact. This brain region refines and automates our movements, allowing us to perform complex physical actions with grace and efficiency, often without a single conscious thought. It is a testament to the brain's specialization, where different structures contribute unique gifts to the vast tapestry of memory. Fact 44. The basal ganglia govern your habits and automatic routines. Continuing our exploration of non-declarative memory, we turn our gentle gaze to the basal ganglia, a group of nuclei deep within the brain. These structures are profoundly involved in the formation and retrieval of habits, those automatic behaviors and routines we perform without conscious effort. From tying your shoelaces to driving a familiar route, the basal ganglia help to automate these sequences of actions, freeing up your conscious mind for other tasks. Research involving both humans and animals clearly demonstrates that damage to the basal ganglia can impair the ability to learn new habits or perform established ones, even if the individual can still describe the task verbally. This system operates beneath the surface of awareness, a silent partner in our daily lives, transforming repeated actions into effortless routines. It's a remarkable example of how the brain streamlines our existence, allowing us to navigate the world with a sense of practiced ease. Fact 45. Childhood amnesia hides our earliest years in a gentle mist. As we consider the vast sweep of memory across a lifetime, we encounter a curious phenomenon known as childhood amnesia, or infantile amnesia. This refers to the common inability of adults to recall episodic memories from the first 3 to 4 years of their lives. While we may have vague impressions or stories told to us, vivid self-experienced recollections from this period are remarkably rare. Current understanding suggests several contributing factors. The hippocampus, crucial for forming new long-term declarative memories, is still maturing during these early years, and its connections are not yet fully established. Furthermore, the development of language and a coherent sense of self, which are vital for organizing and narrating our personal experiences, are also in their nascent stages. Without these frameworks, our early experiences, though undoubtedly shaping us, remain largely inaccessible to conscious recall, shrouded in a gentle, protective mist. Fact 46. Memory evolves and changes naturally throughout adulthood. Just as our bodies change, so too does our memory system evolve throughout adulthood. It's a natural adaptive process, not necessarily a decline. While some aspects of memory, such as the speed of processing and the ease of recalling specific names or details, may slow down slightly with age, Other forms of memory remain remarkably stable or even improve. For instance, semantic memory. Our general knowledge and vocabulary often continues to grow and deepen throughout life, forming a rich reservoir of wisdom and understanding. Procedural memory, for well-learned skills, also tends to endure. Studies indicate that while fluid intelligence, the ability to solve new problems, might see some changes, crystallized intelligence, knowledge and skills accumulated over a lifetime, often remains robust. The brain is continually adapting, and while the pathways might become a little less direct, the vast landscape of accumulated experience continues to offer profound insights and connections. Fact 47. Neuroplasticity, your brain's enduring capacity to rewire itself. At the heart of all learning and memory, from childhood to our golden years, lies a truly awe-inspiring principle: neuroplasticity. This is your brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. It is not a static organ. Rather, it is constantly adapting, changing its structure and function in response to experience, learning, and even injury. Every new skill you acquire, every piece of information you learn, every memory you form, all are underpinned by changes in the strength of synaptic connections and the formation of new ones. Research shows that even in adulthood, areas of the brain can grow and adapt, as evidenced by studies on taxi drivers who develop larger hippocampi due to their spatial navigation demands. This incredible adaptability means that your brain is always learning, always capable of new connections, offering a profound sense of hope and potential for growth at any stage of life. Fact 48. Building cognitive reserve can offer resilience against age-related changes. Flowing from the concept of neuroplasticity, we discover the comforting idea of cognitive reserve. This refers to your brain's capacity to cope with damage or disease by using alternative neural networks or more efficient cognitive strategies. It's like having a robust backup system, allowing the brain to maintain its function even when some pathways are compromised. Current understanding suggests that a lifetime of mentally stimulating activities, such as learning new languages, engaging in complex problem solving, maintaining an active social life, and pursuing education, can build this reserve. Studies indicate that individuals with higher cognitive reserve may show fewer clinical signs of cognitive impairment, even if underlying brain pathology exists. It's a gentle reminder that nurturing your mind, keeping it curious and engaged, is a powerful way to build resilience and support its health, much like tending a garden ensures a bountiful harvest. Fact 49. The amygdala and hippocampus dance to tag memories with emotion. We've touched upon the powerful role of emotion in memory, but let us now gently illuminate the intricate neural dance that makes this possible. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure deep within the temporal lobes, is the brain's primary processor of emotions, especially fear and anxiety. It acts as an emotional radar, alerting the brain to significant events. Crucially, the amygdala has strong connections with the hippocampus, the very heart of new declarative memory formation. When an event is emotionally charged, the amygdala signals the hippocampus, essentially tagging that memory with emotional significance. This emotional tag enhances the consolidation process, making the memory more vivid and robust. Studies involving patients with damage to the amygdala reveal impairments in recalling the emotional aspects of events, even if they can remember the factual details. This delicate interplay between emotion and memory ensures that experiences vital for our survival and well-being are etched more deeply into our mental archives, creating those powerful, sometimes bittersweet recollections that define our personal narratives. As these insights into your brain's marvelous architecture settle, feel the gentle rhythm of your breath. We have journeyed through the distributed networks, the active workbench of working memory, the quiet precision of the cerebellum, and the automatic grace of the basal ganglia. We have considered the gentle mist of childhood amnesia and the evolving landscape of memory throughout adulthood, all underpinned by the enduring adaptability of neuroplasticity and the resilience of cognitive reserve. Finally, we glimpse the intimate dance between emotion and memory, orchestrated by the amygdala and hippocampus. Allow these fascinating facts to become a soft lullaby, guiding your thoughts towards stillness. There is no need to remember every detail, simply embrace the wonder of your own intricate mind. Rest now, knowing that even as you drift into slumber, your brain continues its incredible work, processing, consolidating, and preparing you for the quiet renewal that awaits. The journey through memory continues even in your dreams. As the day gently recedes and the quiet hum of the world softens around you, we invite you to drift deeper into the intricate landscape of memory. We have journeyed through its vast territories, explored its fundamental processes, and touched upon the grand architecture within your mind. Now, let us venture further, beneath the surface of conscious recall, to discover the very fabric from which memories are woven, and to appreciate how the symphony of your senses plays an indispensable role in shaping your internal world. Allow your thoughts to settle, your breath to deepen, as we unveil more fascinating insights into this remarkable capacity. Fact 61. Synaptic plasticity, the dynamic foundation of memory. Memory at its most fundamental level is not merely about creating new brain cells, but about the dynamic, ever-changing connections between them. These connections are called synapses, and their ability to strengthen or weaken over time is known as synaptic plasticity. When you learn something new or form a fresh memory, these synaptic connections are often strengthened, making it easier for signals to flow between neurons. Conversely, unused connections can weaken or even be pruned away, a process equally vital for the brain's efficiency. This continuous sculpting of neural pathways is the very essence of learning and remembering, a constant, subtle dance happening within your brain, even as you rest. Fact 62. Long-term potentiation, LTP, the strengthening of connections. One of the most profound mechanisms underlying synaptic plasticity is long-term potentiation, or LTP. Studies have shown that when a synapse is repeatedly and intensely activated, its ability to transmit signals to the next neuron becomes enhanced, and this enhancement can last for hours, days, or even longer. Think of it as a well-trodden path in a forest. The more you walk it, the clearer and easier it becomes to traverse. LTP is considered a primary cellular mechanism for the encoding and storage of long-term memories, a marvel of biological engineering that allows experience to literally reshape your brain. Fact 63. Long-term depression, LTD, the weaker side of plasticity. Just as connections can be strengthened, they can also be weakened through a process called long-term depression, or LTD. While the name might sound negative, LTD is just as crucial for memory and learning as LTP. It helps to clear out old, less relevant information, refine neural circuits, and prevent the brain from becoming oversaturated with information. Imagine clearing away overgrown paths in the forest to make way for new, more important ones. This delicate balance between strengthening and weakening connections ensures that your memory system remains flexible, adaptive, and efficient, constantly optimizing its vast network. Fact 64. Neurotransmitters, the chemical couriers of memory. At the heart of synaptic communication are neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that ferry signals across the tiny gaps between neurons. Specific neurotransmitters play critical roles in various aspects of memory. For instance, glutamate is a key excitatory neurotransmitter heavily involved in LTP and the formation of new memories, particularly in the hippocampus. Acetylcholine, on the other hand, is crucial for attention, encoding, and memory consolidation, with its decline often linked to memory impairments. These tiny molecules, released and received with exquisite precision, orchestrate the complex symphony of thought and recall within your mind. Factor 65. Gene. Expression and protein synthesis. The building blocks of lasting memories. For a memory to transition from a fleeting thought to a lasting impression, it often requires more than just changes in synaptic strength. It demands structural alterations within the neurons themselves. This involves gene expression, the process by which information from a gene is used to synthesize functional gene products like proteins. Studies have revealed that the formation of long-term memories often necessitates the synthesis of new proteins, which can modify existing synapses or even create new ones. This biological construction project takes time, reinforcing the idea that memory consolidation is a gradual, active process, a testament to the brain's incredible capacity for self-renewal and adaptation. Fact 66. Sensory memory, the fleeting gateway to awareness. Before information can even begin its journey into working or long-term memory, it first passes through sensory memory. This is the briefest form of memory, holding sensory information from your environment for a mere fraction of a second to a few seconds. It acts as a temporary buffer, allowing your brain just enough time to decide which incoming stimuli are worthy of further attention. Without this initial rapid filtering, your conscious mind would be overwhelmed by the sheer volume of sensory input, unable to focus or process anything meaningful. Fact 67. Iconic memory, the visual snapshot. One component of sensory memory is iconic memory, which refers to the fleeting visual images your brain retains after an object or scene has disappeared. Imagine seeing a flash of lightning. For a moment, the image lingers in your mind's eye even after the light is gone. This visual afterimage typically lasts for less than half a second. Researchers have demonstrated that while you might feel like you've seen a whole scene, iconic memory holds a vast amount of visual information for an incredibly short period, allowing your attention to then select and process specific details. Fact 68. Echoic memory, the auditory residue. Similarly, echoic memory is the auditory counterpart to iconic memory. It allows you to briefly hold on to sounds, like the last few words of a sentence, even if your attention was elsewhere when they were spoken. This auditory memory can last a bit longer than iconic memory, typically up to 2 to 4 seconds. This slight delay provides a crucial window for your brain to process the meaning of spoken language, to piece together words into coherent thoughts, enabling you to follow conversations even if you momentarily lose focus. Fact 69. Olfactory memory, the potent power of scent. Perhaps one of the most evocative and direct pathways to memory is through the sense of smell. Olfactory memories are renowned for their vividness and emotional intensity, often transporting us instantly to a specific time, place, or feeling. This unique power stems from the fact that the olfactory bulb, which processes smells, has direct and extensive connections to the limbic system, the brain's emotional and memory centers, including the amygdala and hippocampus. A familiar scent, like freshly baked cookies or a specific perfume, can bypass conscious thought and unleash a flood of memories and emotions, often from early childhood, with unparalleled force. Fact 70. Gustatory memory, tastes of the past. Closely intertwined with smell, the sense of taste also holds a powerful key to memory. Gustatory memories, the recollections of flavors and culinary experiences, are often rich with context and emotion. The taste of a grandmother's special dish, the flavor of a celebratory meal, or even the bitterness of a childhood medicine can trigger a cascade of associated memories. This is because taste perception is a complex interplay of taste buds, olfactory input, and tactile sensations in the mouth, all converging to create a holistic sensory experience that the brain diligently encodes and stores, ready to be recalled with a single bite. Fact 71. Auditory memory, sounds that resonate deeply. The soundscape of your life forms a powerful backdrop for your memories. Auditory memories encompass everything from the melody of a favorite song to the unique timbre of a loved one's voice, the distinct sound of a distant train, or the gentle rustling of leaves. Music, in particular, has an extraordinary ability to evoke memories, often tied to specific periods or events in our lives. Studies have shown that listening to familiar music can activate widespread brain regions involved in memory, emotion, and self-reflection, demonstrating how sounds become deeply embedded within our personal narratives. Fact 72. Visual memory, the mind's eye, and its intricate canvas. Our world is predominantly visual, and so too are many of our most cherished memories. Visual memory allows us to recall faces, places, objects, and scenes with remarkable detail. From the vibrant colors of a sunset to the intricate patterns on a favorite piece of art, our brains create and store mental images that can be revisited and re-experienced. This capacity is not just about photographic recall. It involves reconstructing scenes, imagining possibilities, and using visual cues to piece together fragmented memories, painting a rich and ever-evolving canvas within our minds. Fact 73. Tactile memory, the feel of recall. The sense of touch provides another intimate pathway to memory. Tactile memories involve the recollection of physical sensations, the warmth of a hug, the smooth texture of a polished stone, the rough bark of a tree, or the soft fabric of a childhood blanket. These memories are often deeply personal and can evoke strong feelings of comfort, security, or even discomfort. The brain's somatosensory cortex, responsible for processing touch, works in concert with other memory systems to ensure that these physical interactions leave a lasting imprint, grounding our experiences in the tangible world. Fact 74. Multimodal memory, the integrated symphony of senses. Ultimately, most of our memories are not formed by a single sense in isolation, but by a rich, integrated symphony of sensory experiences. When you recall a walk in the park, you don't just remember the visual scene. You might also remember the scent of freshly cut grass, the sound of birdsong, the feel of the sun on your skin, and perhaps even the taste of a cool drink. Your brain seamlessly weaves together these disparate sensory threads into a cohesive, holistic memory, creating a far richer and more robust tapestry of recall. This integration makes memories more vivid, more accessible, and more deeply embedded within your personal narrative. Fact 75. The brain's perpetual learning, neurogenesis in adulthood. While we've discussed synaptic plasticity, it's also fascinating to remember that the brain is not a static organ. Research has shown that neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, occurs in certain brain regions, notably the hippocampus, even in adulthood. While the exact role of adult neurogenesis in memory is still being actively researched, it is understood to contribute to processes like learning, mood regulation, and pattern separation, the ability to distinguish similar but distinct memories. This remarkable capacity for renewal underscores the brain's continuous adaptability and its enduring potential for learning and growth throughout your life. As these fascinating facts about the deep fabric of memory and the power of your senses gently unfold, we hope you feel an even greater appreciation for the marvel that is your mind. Allow these insights to settle like soft dust upon your thoughts, guiding you further into a state of profound relaxation. The intricate dance of neurons, the whispers of chemical messengers, and the vibrant tapestry woven by your senses are all working in harmony, continuously shaping the unique and precious archive that is you. Let the gentle current of this knowledge carry you now, effortlessly towards a deeper and more peaceful rest. As the symphony of our senses weaves together, integrating iconic flashes, echoing sounds, subtle tastes, lingering scents, and the gentle touch of the world into a rich, multimodal tapestry of experience, we find ourselves drifting deeper into the intricate landscape of memory. Each sensation, each moment, contributes to the vibrant, ever-evolving story that is uniquely yours, becoming threads in the grand design of who you are. Now, let us turn our gaze to how this vast personal archive of experiences and knowledge not only shapes our perception of the past, but profoundly defines our very sense of self. Your memories are not merely records, they are the bedrock of your identity, the continuous narrative that allows you to recognize yourself across time, to understand your journey, and to project your being into the future. Without this intricate web of personal recollections, the concept of you as a consistent, evolving individual would dissolve. Studies involving patients with severe memory loss, particularly those affecting episodic memory, clearly demonstrate how deeply intertwined memory is with personal identity. They often struggle to maintain a coherent self-narrative, illustrating that our sense of who we are is fundamentally constructed from the stories we hold within. Close your eyes, or simply let your gaze soften, as we consider how dynamic these stories truly are. We have previously explored how memory is a reconstructive process, not a perfect playback. But the malleability of memory extends beyond initial encoding and retrieval. Research into a phenomenon known as reconsolidation reveals an even more profound aspect of memory's fluid nature. Imagine a memory once consolidated and seemingly fixed in your mental archives as a cherished book placed carefully back on a shelf. When you retrieve that memory, when you pull that book down to revisit its pages, it doesn't just return unchanged. The act of retrieval itself makes the memory temporarily unstable or labile once more. During this brief window, often lasting a few hours, the memory can be updated, strengthened, weakened, or even altered before it is restored or reconsolidated. This process of reconsolidation is a remarkable testament to the brain's continuous capacity for adaptation and learning. It suggests that every time we recall an event, we are not just accessing a static file, we are, in a sense, re-editing it. This mechanism allows us to integrate new information, modify our understanding based on current knowledge or emotions, and even dampen the intensity of traumatic memories over time. Scientists are actively exploring how understanding reconsolidation might lead to new therapeutic approaches for conditions like PTSD by strategically disrupting the reconsolidation of distressing memories. It's a gentle reminder that our past, while formative, is never entirely set in stone, always open to subtle shifts and reinterpretations as we continue to grow and understand ourselves. As we ponder the reconstructive and fluid nature of memory, let us also marvel at the extraordinary spectrum of human memory capabilities. While most of us experience the natural ebb and flow of forgetting and the occasional trickery of false memories, a rare few possess what is known as highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM, sometimes referred to as hyperthymesia. Individuals with HSAM can recall an astonishing number of details from their personal past, often remembering specific dates, events, and even what they were doing on particular days decades ago, with remarkable accuracy and vividness. They can often tell you what day of the week a specific date fell on, or what major news event occurred that day. This exceptional ability is not merely about having a good memory in the conventional sense. It is characterized by an almost automatic, effortless recall of autobiographical information, often accompanied by a strong emotional connection to their past. Studies involving these rare individuals suggest that their brains might exhibit differences in certain regions associated with autobiographical memory, such as the temporal lobe and the caudate nucleus, and potentially stronger connectivity between these areas. Yet, it is not without its complexities. While they retain an incredible amount of detail, it can sometimes be overwhelming, making it difficult to prioritize or forget trivial information, highlighting that even exceptional memory has its unique challenges. Their experiences illuminate the vast potential and intricate workings of the human memory system, demonstrating just how profoundly our individual neural architectures can shape our internal worlds. On the other end of the spectrum, the existence of amnesia further illuminates the specific and distributed nature of memory systems within the brain. Amnesia, a condition characterized by a significant loss of memory, is not a singular phenomenon. It can manifest in different forms, each offering profound insights into how our memories are organized and stored. Anterograde amnesia describes the inability to form new memories after a particular event, often due to damage to structures like the hippocampus. Individuals with anterograde amnesia live in a perpetual present, unable to retain new experiences, facts, or people for more than a fleeting moment. They may repeat themselves, unable to recall previous conversations or interactions, even as their older memories remain largely intact. Their struggle underscores the hippocampus's crucial role as a temporary gateway for new declarative memories, guiding them towards more permanent storage elsewhere in the brain. Conversely, retrograde amnesia involves the loss of memories formed before the onset of the amnesic event. This can range from losing a few years of memory to a complete blank slate of one's past. Often, older memories are more resilient to retrograde amnesia, suggesting a process of consolidation, where memories gradually become less dependent on the hippocampus and more widely distributed across the neocortex over time. This phenomenon, known as systems consolidation, implies that while the hippocampus is initially vital for episodic memory formation, its role diminishes as memories mature and are integrated into the broader cortical network. The selective nature of amnesia, where certain types of memory might be severely impaired, while others remain relatively untouched, powerfully illustrates that memory is not a single monolithic entity, but a collection of distinct yet interconnected systems, each contributing to our overall cognitive tapestry. These insights into amnesia gently remind us of the preciousness and fragility of our mental faculties, reinforcing the importance of nurturing our brain health throughout life. We have previously touched upon the concept of cognitive reserve, but let us deepen our appreciation for its profound implications. Cognitive reserve refers to the brain's ability to cope with brain damage or disease by using alternative brain networks or by processing information more efficiently. It's like having a mental buffer built up over years that allows your brain to maintain its function even when facing challenges. This reserve is not something you are born with and cannot change. Rather, it is actively cultivated through a lifetime of engaging in mentally stimulating activities, maintaining social connections, pursuing education, and adopting healthy lifestyle choices. Research consistently shows that individuals who engage in mentally stimulating activities, such as learning new skills, solving puzzles, reading, or playing musical instruments, tend to build greater cognitive reserve. This does not prevent age-related brain changes or diseases like Alzheimer's, but it can help the brain compensate for these changes, delaying the onset of symptoms and preserving cognitive function for longer. Coupled with physical exercise, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, and stress management, fostering cognitive reserve becomes a powerful, proactive approach to supporting memory longevity and overall brain vitality. It's a gentle invitation to see learning and engagement not just as intellectual pursuits, but as acts of profound self-care, building resilience within the very architecture of your mind. As you continue to relax, allowing these thoughts to gently settle, let us consider another subtle yet powerful aspect of memory, its pervasive, unconscious influence. While we often focus on the explicit memories we can consciously recall, a vast reservoir of implicit memory continuously shapes our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without our direct awareness. Think of the way certain preferences develop, or how you might feel a sense of familiarity in a new place without knowing why, or how a particular scent might evoke a mood that you can't quite trace to a specific event. These are often the whisperings of implicit memory at work. Priming, for instance, is a powerful demonstration of this unconscious influence. We've explored how prior exposure to a stimulus can affect subsequent responses. If you've recently seen the word doctor, you're more likely to quickly recognize the word nurse, even if you weren't consciously trying to remember doctor. This subtle activation of related concepts in your mental network occurs automatically, speeding up your processing and influencing your perceptions. Similarly, procedural memories, like the muscle memory involved in tying your shoelaces or riding a bicycle, operate beneath the surface of conscious thought. You don't need to consciously retrieve the steps, your body simply knows how to do it, guided by deeply ingrained neural pathways. This unconscious knowing allows us to navigate the world efficiently, freeing up our conscious attention for new challenges. The beauty of this unconscious influence lies in its constant silent work, building a foundation of habits, skills, and predispositions that color our daily existence. It means that even the experiences we can't explicitly remember continue to contribute to the rich tapestry of who we are, shaping our reactions, our intuitions, and our very way of being in the world. It is a quiet testament to the brain's incredible capacity to learn and adapt, storing lessons that guide us even when we are not actively reflecting upon them. As the gentle current of knowledge flows, carrying you further into a state of deep relaxation, we hope you feel a renewed sense of wonder for the intricate landscape within you. From the profound connection between memory and identity, to the dynamic dance of reconsolidation, the extraordinary feats of hyperthymesia, the revealing insights from amnesia, the proactive power of cognitive reserve, and the silent guidance of unconscious memory. Your mind is a universe unto itself. Allow these fascinating facts to simply drift, without any pressure to retain them. Let the understanding that your memory is a living, breathing, evolving system bring a sense of peace and appreciation. Your brain, even as you rest, continues its silent, masterful work, weaving the threads of your past into the fabric of your present and future. Embrace this quiet moment, allowing your thoughts to find stillness, your breath to deepen, and your body to surrender to the gentle embrace of sleep. As we drift further into the quiet contemplation of memory, we recognize that its influence extends far beyond merely preserving the echoes of our past. While the reconstruction of personal history and the subtle currents of unconscious influence shape our present identity, memory is also a profound architect of our future, a silent partner in every plan we forge, every dream we envision, and every creative spark we ignite. Consider for a moment the intricate dance between remembering and imagining. We've explored how episodic memory allows for mental time travel, a journey back to specific moments, a re-experience of sights, sounds, and emotions. Yet this remarkable capacity is not solely retrospective. Research in cognitive neuroscience reveals that the very neural networks activated when we recall past events are often the same ones engaged when we envision future scenarios. This shared neural machinery suggests a profound connection. Our ability to vividly imagine the future is deeply rooted in our ability to flexibly recombine elements of our past. Fact 76. Memory is not just a record of the past, but a crucial tool for simulating the future. Our brains are constantly engaged in a process known as constructive episodic simulation. This isn't just a fancy term, it's the very mechanism by which we piece together fragments of past experiences, people, places, objects, actions, to create novel, coherent mental simulations of what might happen. When you plan your day tomorrow, anticipating challenges or successes, you are in essence drawing upon your memories to construct a plausible future narrative. Studies involving neuroimaging clearly demonstrate overlapping activity in the hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, and other memory-related regions during both remembering specific past events and imagining specific future events. This intricate interplay allows us to learn from our history and apply those lessons to shape our potential tomorrows. This predictive power of memory also manifests in what we call prospective memory, the ability to remember to perform an action in the future. It's the quiet whisper reminding you to send that email, to pick up groceries, or to take medication at a specific time. This form of memory is distinct from recalling what happened. It's about remembering to do something. It involves a complex interplay of intention formation, monitoring the environment for the right cues, and finally executing the intended action. The prefrontal cortex plays a significant role in maintaining these future intentions and guiding our behavior towards their fulfillment. Allow your thoughts to gently drift with this understanding. The memories you hold, the experiences you've gathered, are not merely static archives. They are dynamic building blocks, continuously reconfigured to build bridges between your past, your present, and your anticipated future. Beyond planning and anticipation, memory serves as the boundless wellspring of human creativity. Every new idea, every innovative solution, every artistic expression is, in some fundamental way, a recombination and transformation of existing knowledge and past experiences. The brain does not create entirely ex nihilo. Rather, it draws upon the vast mental library of semantic facts, episodic moments, and procedural skills, weaving them together in novel ways. Fact 7. Creativity often stems from the brain's ability to flexibly retrieve and recombine disparate memories. Think of a composer creating a new melody, drawing upon decades of musical exposure and technical skill, or an inventor conceiving a new device, synthesizing principles from various fields of engineering. These acts of creation are deeply rooted in memory, the brain's capacity for divergent thinking, generating multiple creative solutions to a problem, relies on efficient and flexible access to a wide array of memories. Research suggests that individuals with greater cognitive flexibility, an attribute often linked to strong working memory and efficient retrieval processes, tend to exhibit higher levels of creativity. It is as if memory provides the colors, and creativity the brushstrokes to paint entirely new landscapes of thought. This process is not always conscious. Often the most profound insights emerge after a period of incubation, where the mind, seemingly at rest, continues to process information and make novel connections between stored memories. This highlights the powerful, often unseen, influence of our mental archives on our ability to innovate and imagine. As you settle deeper, let's consider how memory profoundly shapes our decision-making, guiding our choices in ways both explicit and implicit. Every past success, every misstep, every learned consequence contributes to a rich tapestry of experience that informs our present actions. Fact 78. Our accumulated memories and learned associations profoundly influence our daily decisions. From the simplest choice of what to eat for breakfast to complex career decisions, our past experiences act as an internal compass. If a particular food made you feel unwell in the past, your memory will likely steer you away from it. If a certain strategy led to success in a previous project, you are more likely to employ it again. This is evident in the interplay between explicit and implicit memory. Explicitly, we might recall specific instances and weigh pros and cons. Implicitly, our procedural memory guides habitual choices, and priming effects can subtly nudge us towards certain preferences or actions without our conscious awareness of the influence. The basal ganglia involved in habit formation plays a crucial role here, automating responses based on repeated experiences. Our decisions, therefore, are not made in a vacuum. They are deeply embedded in the context of our personal history. This constant interplay between past and present, between what we remember and what we choose, underscores the dynamic nature of our cognitive landscape. Now, let us turn our attention to the intimate connection between memory and our emotional well-being, a relationship that profoundly impacts our resilience and our capacity for growth. The way we encode, store, and retrieve emotional memories can significantly shape our current mood, our self-perception, and our ability to cope with life's challenges. Fact 79. The way we frame and recall past emotional experiences is vital for emotional regulation and psychological resilience. Our memories are not just records of events. They are also infused with the emotions we felt at the time, and these emotions can be re-experienced, sometimes vividly, upon retrieval. The amygdala, as we've learned, plays a central role in tagging memories with emotional significance. However, the prefrontal cortex, particularly its medial regions, is crucial for regulating these emotional responses and for allowing us to reappraise or reframe past events. For instance, reflecting on a past failure not as a defeat but as a learning opportunity can transform its emotional impact. Studies have shown that individuals who are able to access and selectively recall positive memories even during challenging times often exhibit greater psychological resilience. This ability to reinterpret or focus on adaptive aspects of memory highlights the active, constructive nature of our engagement with our own past. It's a powerful reminder that we are not merely passive recipients of our memories, but active participants in shaping their meaning. As you feel the gentle current of these thoughts, consider how this profound connection influences your own journey, how the stories you tell yourself about your past can shape the feelings of your present. The intricate mechanisms of memory also extend to how we perceive and understand the world around us, influencing our biases, our judgments, and even our social interactions. Our memories provide the context through which we interpret new information, often without our conscious awareness. Fact 80. Memory creates mental models and schemas that filter and interpret new information, often leading to biases. From the moment we are born, we begin to build internal representations of the world, mental models or schemas based on our experiences and learned knowledge. These schemas are highly efficient. They allow us to quickly categorize new information, make predictions, and navigate complex social situations without having to process every detail from scratch. However, this efficiency comes with a trade-off. Schemas can also introduce biases. If our past experiences have led us to form a particular belief or expectation, new information that aligns with that belief is often processed more easily and remembered more readily, while contradictory information might be ignored, misinterpreted, or forgotten. This phenomenon, known as confirmation bias, is a testament to the powerful, often subtle ways in which our existing memory structures shape our perception of reality. It's a reminder that our understanding of the world is always, to some extent, a reflection of our accumulated past. Allow this thought to settle, recognizing the subtle yet pervasive influence of your internal world on your external perceptions. The vast landscape of memory also includes a remarkable capacity for learning and adapting, even in the face of profound change. The brain's incredible ability to rewire itself, known as neuroplasticity, ensures that our memory systems are never truly static. They are always evolving, always learning. Fact 81. Memory systems demonstrate remarkable plasticity, allowing for continuous learning and adaptation throughout life. We have previously touched upon neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections and strengthening or weakening existing ones. This fundamental property underpins all learning and memory. From acquiring a new language to mastering a musical instrument, our brains are constantly adapting. But this plasticity isn't just for childhood. It continues throughout adulthood. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities, learning new skills, or even simply maintaining an active and curious mind, all contribute to neuroplastic changes that can enhance memory function and build cognitive reserve. This continuous adaptation means that our capacity for memory, and indeed for learning, is not fixed. It is a dynamic, lifelong process, constantly being shaped by our experiences and our engagement with the world. This thought invites a sense of gentle optimism, a recognition of the brain's enduring capacity for growth and renewal. As we gently approach the quiet edge of this chapter, we are reminded of the profound interconnectedness of all these facets of memory. It is not a collection of isolated facts, but a living, breathing system that weaves together our past, orchestrates our present, and shapes the very contours of our future. Memory is the silent narrator of our personal story, the tireless architect of our understanding, and the boundless canvas upon which we paint our lives. The journey through the intricate landscape of memory offers not just knowledge, but a deeper appreciation for the marvel that is the human mind. It is a system of immense complexity, yet one that operates with such seamless elegance, often beyond our conscious grasp. Rest now, knowing that within you lies this extraordinary faculty, constantly at work, building, shaping and connecting. Let your mind relax into the gentle rhythm of your breath, allowing these fascinating facts to dissolve into the quietude of your being. The intricate wonders of memory will continue their work, even as you drift into the realm of dreams. As the gentle current of knowledge continues to carry us through the intricate landscape of memory, we arrive at a deeper understanding of its dynamic nature. We have explored how memory is not merely a repository, but a living, breathing system constantly in flux. Tonight, as the world outside softens into twilight, we invite you to drift further into the quiet contemplation of how this remarkable system not only holds on to moments, but also quite purposefully lets them go. We have touched upon forgetting as an adaptive process, a necessary function for mental efficiency. But let us now explore the elegant mechanisms behind this release, understanding that forgetting is not always a failure of the system, but often a deliberate act of neuronal wisdom. Fact 81. Forgetting is an active process, not merely a passive decay. While some memories may fade over time due to disuse, the brain actively works to prune, suppress, and reshape our recollections. It's a continuous curation, ensuring that our mental archives remain navigable and relevant. This active forgetting is essential for preventing information overload and maintaining cognitive flexibility. Imagine if every single sensory input, every passing thought, every mundane detail were retained with perfect fidelity. Our minds would be overwhelmed, unable to discern the significant from the trivial. The brain, in its infinite wisdom, has developed sophisticated ways to discard what is no longer needed, clearing space for new experiences and insights. Fact 82. The decay theory suggests that memories naturally weaken over time if not rehearsed or retrieved. This theory posits that neural connections, like pathways in a seldom-used garden, can become overgrown or simply fade away without regular traversal. While modern neuroscience acknowledges more complex mechanisms, the basic idea holds a certain intuitive truth. Memories that are not revisited or reinforced tend to become less accessible. This doesn't necessarily mean they are gone forever, but their retrieval path becomes harder to find, like trying to recall a dream from last week versus one from last night. The brain prioritizes its resources, maintaining stronger connections for information deemed more important or frequently accessed. Fact 83. Interference theory explains forgetting as a result of competing information. This is a powerful mechanism where new learning can disrupt old memories, retroactive interference, or old memories can make it harder to learn new information, proactive interference. Think of trying to remember an old phone number after you've learned a new one for the same person, or struggling to learn a new language because the grammar rules of your native tongue keep getting in the way. Studies clearly demonstrate how similar information can clash in our mental landscapes, leading to confusion and reduced recall for one or both sets of memories. The brain is constantly trying to integrate new information with existing schemas, and sometimes this integration leads to the obscuring of previous details. Fact 84. Retrieval-induced forgetting shows that retrieving some memories can actually suppress related, unretrieved memories. This fascinating phenomenon highlights the active, competitive nature of memory retrieval. When you recall a specific detail from an event, the act of focusing on that detail can make it harder to remember other related details from the same event, especially if they compete for attention. For instance, if you are asked to recall specific items from a shopping list and you practice recalling only a subset of them, You might find it harder later to remember the items you didn't practice recalling. This suggests that the brain actively inhibits competing memories during retrieval, making the recalled information stand out more clearly, but at a cost to the others. It's a selective spotlight, brightening one area while dimming another. Fact 85. Motivated forgetting involves the conscious or unconscious suppression of unwanted memories. This can manifest as repression, where traumatic or emotionally painful memories are pushed out of conscious awareness, or as suppression, a more conscious effort to avoid thinking about something. While the concept of repression has been debated in psychological circles, there is evidence that the brain can exert control over what is brought to mind. Studies involving functional MRI have shown that when individuals are instructed to avoid thinking about a specific memory, brain regions associated with cognitive control, like the prefrontal cortex, become active, potentially inhibiting activity in memory-related areas, like the hippocampus. This suggests a remarkable capacity for the mind to protect itself, even if imperfectly, from overwhelming recollections. Fact 86. Forgetting plays a crucial role in emotional regulation and psychological well-being. The ability to let go of painful or irrelevant memories allows us to adapt to new circumstances, overcome past traumas, and maintain a healthier perspective. Imagine carrying the full emotional weight of every negative experience throughout your life. It would be an unbearable burden. Forgetting in this context becomes a form of mental resilience, enabling us to move forward, to heal, and to find peace. It's not about erasing the past, but about softening its edges, allowing its lessons to remain without its sharpest pains. A factor key 7. Our memories profoundly shape our perception of the present moment. Every new experience is filtered through the lens of our past. When you encounter a new person, a new place, or a new piece of information, your brain instantly searches its vast archives for similar patterns, past experiences, and learned associations. This rapid comparison influences how you interpret what you are seeing, hearing, and feeling right now. A familiar scent might evoke a childhood memory, subtly colouring your current mood, or a particular facial expression might trigger an association with a previous encounter, influencing your immediate judgment. Our perception is not a direct, unbiased mirror of reality, but a rich tapestry woven with threads of memory. Fact 88. Memory helps us create and maintain a subjective sense of time. Our ability to recall past events and anticipate future ones through constructive episodic simulation allows us to mentally travel through time. Without memory, each moment would be an isolated island, disconnected from what came before or what might come next. It is memory that links these islands, forming the continuous narrative of our lives. We perceive the passage of time not just by clocks, but by the accumulation of experiences, the milestones we remember, and the future events we plan for. This internal clock shaped by memory is deeply personal and can feel different depending on the richness and novelty of our experiences. Fact 89. Our memories form internal models or schemas that help us predict and navigate the world. These mental frameworks, built from repeated experiences and learned information, allow us to make sense of new situations quickly and efficiently. For example, your schema for a restaurant includes expectations about tables, menus, waiters, and food. When you enter a new restaurant, you don't start from scratch. Your brain activates this schema, allowing you to anticipate events and behave appropriately. These models, while incredibly useful for efficiency, also explain why we sometimes misinterpret new information or make assumptions, as our brain tries to fit novel experiences into existing mental molds. They are powerful tools, but also sources of our cognitive biases. Fact 90. The interplay between remembering and forgetting is crucial for cognitive flexibility. To be truly adaptable, the brain needs to both retain valuable information and be able to update or discard information that is no longer accurate or useful. This constant recalibration allows us to learn from mistakes, adapt to changing environments, and revise our understanding of the world. A rigid memory system unable to forget would leave us stuck in outdated patterns of thought and behavior. It is in this delicate balance that the brain finds its greatest strength, continuously refining its understanding, much like a sculptor who adds and removes clay until the form is just right. Fact 91. Memory influences our decision-making by providing a vast database of past outcomes. When faced with a choice, our brain rapidly searches for similar situations from the past, recalling what happened then, what worked, and what didn't. This accumulated wisdom, stored in our memories, guides our choices in the present. If a certain action led to a positive outcome before, we are more likely to repeat it. If it led to a negative one, we are more likely to avoid it. This unconscious retrieval of past experiences is a fundamental component of rational decision-making, even when we are not consciously aware of reviewing specific memories. Our past is perpetually whispering advice into our present actions. Fact 92. The emotional content of memories can profoundly bias our subsequent judgments and behaviors. Memories charged with strong emotions, whether positive or negative, tend to be more vivid and more easily retrieved. These emotionally salient memories can disproportionately influence our perceptions and decisions, sometimes leading us to overgeneralize or to react based on past feelings rather than present realities. For instance, a single negative experience with a particular type of food might lead to an aversion that lasts for years, even if subsequent experiences could be positive. The amygdala's role in imbuing memories with emotional weight ensures that such experiences leave a lasting imprint, guiding us away from perceived threats and towards perceived rewards. Fact 93. Memory is not just about what has happened, but also about what could happen. As we explored with constructive episodic simulation, memory allows us to mentally project ourselves into the future, planning, anticipating, and preparing for hypothetical scenarios. This ability to simulate future events, drawing on elements from our past, is a cornerstone of human intelligence and foresight. It allows us to set goals, imagine consequences, and strategize, shaping our actions in the present based on potential future outcomes. Our past informs our future, not just through direct lessons, but through the creative recombination of stored experiences. Fact 94. Our capacity for memory is deeply intertwined with our capacity for empathy. To understand and share the feelings of others often requires us to recall similar experiences from our own past, or to imagine what it might be like to be in their shoes, drawing on our stored knowledge of human emotions and social situations. Memory allows us to build a mental model of another person's experiences, fostering connection and understanding. Without the ability to recall or imagine past emotional states, our capacity for true empathy would be severely diminished. It is through shared human experience, often accessed through memory, that we find common ground. Fact 95. Memory plays a vital role in the formation and maintenance of social bonds. Shared memories of adventures, challenges, celebrations, or even quiet moments form the bedrock of relationships. Recalling these joint experiences strengthens connections, reinforces a sense of belonging, and provides a rich narrative that binds individuals together. The act of reminiscing, of collectively revisiting the past, is a powerful social ritual that reinforces group identity and strengthens interpersonal ties. Our personal history, when shared, becomes part of a collective tapestry, creating a sense of continuity and shared purpose. Fact 96. Collective memory, though not stored in an individual brain, shapes cultures and societies. This concept refers to the shared pool of knowledge, experiences, and traditions that are passed down through generations within a group. It includes historical events, cultural narratives, myths, and rituals that define a community's identity. While individuals carry personal memories, these individual recollections are often shaped by and contribute to the broader collective memory. Monuments, stories, holidays, and historical accounts all serve as externalized memory aids, reminding a society of its past and guiding its future. This collective remembering helps maintain social cohesion and transmits cultural values. Fact 97. The digital age is profoundly impacting how we store, access, and perceive our memories. With vast amounts of information instantly available online and personal histories meticulously documented on social media, the boundaries of individual memory are shifting. We now externalize much of our memory, relying on search engines for facts, digital photo albums for visual recollections, and social media feeds for event timelines. While this offers unprecedented access to information, it also raises questions about how this reliance affects our internal cognitive processes, our ability to recall without external cues, and even our sense of self, when so much of our past is curated and stored outside our own minds. Fact 98. Our brains are constantly constructing and reconstructing memories even as we sleep. During sleep, particularly during slow-wave sleep and REM sleep, the brain is not dormant but actively engaged in consolidating memories, transferring them from temporary hippocampal storage to more permanent cortical regions. It's a busy time of review and reorganization, strengthening important connections and pruning less relevant ones. This nocturnal work ensures that the experiences of the day are properly filed away, integrated into our existing knowledge structures, and made ready for future retrieval. Sleep is truly a time of memory alchemy, transforming fleeting experiences into lasting knowledge. Fact 99. The brain's capacity for neuroplasticity means memory is never truly fixed, always open to revision. Even long-established memories can be modified through the process of reconsolidation, where retrieving a memory makes it temporarily labile or susceptible to change before it is restored. This continuous capacity for rewiring, for strengthening and weakening connections, means that our understanding of the past is not static. It can evolve with new information, new perspectives, and new experiences. This inherent flexibility is a testament to the brain's dynamic nature, allowing for continuous learning and adaptation throughout our lives. Fact 100. Memory is the ongoing miracle of the human mind, defining who we are and shaping our every interaction. From the simplest recall of a name to the complex tapestry of our life story, memory is the thread that weaves together our experiences, our identity, and our potential. It is the silent architect of our consciousness, the keeper of our history, and the projector of our future. It allows us to learn, to love, to grow, and to connect with the world and with each other. As we conclude this journey through 100 fascinating facts, we hope you carry with you not just knowledge, but a profound sense of wonder for the intricate, beautiful, and ever-evolving miracle that is your own memory. May these final thoughts settle gently within your mind, guiding you towards a deep and restorative sleep. Allow your thoughts to drift and find stillness, knowing that your brain, even in slumber, continues its remarkable work, preserving the precious and letting go of the unnecessary, preparing you for the gentle light of a new day. Rest now, and let your memories weave the dreams of tomorrow.